So you hurt, right? And I'm hurt too. I think we can all agree a lot of the hurt that we experienced was when we were little kids, right? So take me for instance. A lot of my hurt as a little kid came from family, man. And I'm sure everybody feel the same way. I'm sure. So in my previous video, I kind of talked about the things my granny said about me, like some of the negative things she used to say. But it's one particular individual in my family that I look up to, I still love to this day. But this person is really the cause of a lot of the hurt that I felt. This person would tear me down in front of people, say negative things about me to people, to me alone, for nothing, bro. For nothing. I never did nothing to this person. But for some reason, this person just always brought their negativity to me. And the problem is sometimes with family, let me try to put myself in this person's shoes. I feel like family hurts your feelings intentionally under the premise of trying to toughen you up. But what if I wasn't put on earth to be toughened up? So now you just hurting me for nothing. Because it didn't work. I'm not tough. I had a revelation. Like I said in the last video, I spoke about some things my granny used to say to me, and she used to say that I wouldn't bust a grape. In other words, that I was soft, I wasn't tough, right, as a little kid. And with the revelation that I had was this, rest in peace to my granny, I'll forgive you, granny. But the revelation I had was, granny, what if I wasn't put on earth to bust a grape, right, to harm another person? What if I was put on earth to bear fruit for the Lord? Why isn't that an option? Why is it that the world and family try to convince you that something is wrong with you if you're not tough, if you're not hard? So what that did to me, that hurt me to the point that I hated myself. I hated myself so much that I buried myself, this true self that I still am to this day. I'm still that same person, no matter how hard I tried to hide it, bro. And all I did was go through life searching for love in the wrong places because I felt like my family don't really love the true me. I only got love when I said from this particular individual who I still love to this day. I only really get love in this person when I say things that align on the way of this person's thinking. Whenever I say what I think or what I would do or how I really feel, I'm ridiculed for it. But I used to hate myself because I felt like, why am I not tougher? Why do I let people treat me like this? Why do I want to fight? Because I wasn't meant to, bro. I'm a lover. It's just what it is still to this day. It will never change. So a lot of that hurt, besides from this individual, it comes from not fitting in with people, not being able to fit in with groups. So now I'm trying hard to be cool, quote unquote, to try saying things that I don't even agree with, acting in a way that I don't even want to act in because I feel like who I am is not good enough. That's what my hurt did to me. But what does the Bible say about this? Jeremiah 1:5. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart, appointed you as a prophet to the nations. Now, honestly, I don't feel so highly about myself that I think I'm a prophet. I don't. But I do feel like God set me apart. Why is it that I thought one way and everybody else was going this way? But instead of me realizing, instead of me having some self-worth, some self-respect, and respecting how I think, I just thought something was wrong with me, man. When in reality, what it really was was that my spirit was willing, but my flesh was weak. And what does the Bible say about that? Isaiah 40:29. He gives strength to the weary and increases the power of the weak. So in other words, I needed God. I needed Jesus off rip my whole life. For me to be able to stand up for what was right, I needed God. Without him, I was destined to be what I was. A weak person trying to people please and fit in, bro. If only I would have knew all I need to do was turn to God. The way that I thought, the way that I felt, how I felt like some of these things was wrong, God would have confirmed it for me. I could have found my identity through him instead of through the world or through family or through music. And 2 out of those 3 things, Satan got his hands all over, bro. The music and this world. So I was doomed without God from the start, bro. That's how I handle my hurt. Now, if you can't relate to that, maybe you can relate to this. When people hurt you when you were younger, over time, your heart became stone. Over time, you became numb to that hurt. You didn't cry no more. You started to agree with the world that those things were weak. Like I was a crybaby. I cry, man, especially nowadays, now that I'm right with God, I cry every time I go to church and they playing music, or I cry for other people when I find out what's wrong with them or what they're going through. But having that heart of stone, having feelings in your eyes is viewed as weak. But what does God say about this? What does the Bible say about this? Matthew 13:14-15. You will be ever hearing, but never understanding. You will be ever seeing, but never perceiving. For this people's heart has become callous. It became stone. They hardly hear with their ears, and they have closed their eyes. Otherwise, they might see with their eyes, hear with their ears, understand with their hearts, and turn, and I will heal them. So in other words, that heart of stone gave you a false sense of strength now. You feel as if somebody like me is weak, which I am. Without God, I definitely am, right? But your heart of stone is not strength. It's just cutting you off from the good news of God. Maybe you might even hate God to some extent because you feel like all these things happened to you was his fault. But when are we going to start blaming who we're supposed to blame for these things? When is the devil going to start getting his proper share of the blame for the way life is, bro? So having the heart of stone is not the end of the world. This is the good news about God, bro. It don't matter how far you strayed away. You can, as long as you're still alive, you can come back to him, humble yourself, ask him straight up however you feel. I've seen people say, man, I don't believe in you, God. If you real, show me. And they really genuinely felt that way. And God showed them like, here, I got you. All I need you to do is turn to me. So what does the Bible say about your stone heart? Another verse. Ezekiel 36:26. I will give you a new heart and put a new spirit in you. I will remove from you your heart of stone and give you a heart of flesh again. In other words, God will make you that loving person that you was meant to be before you was hurt too. So I think I'm realizing now that the people that hurt us, it wasn't really them. This individual that I'm referring to, like I said, I still love to this day. What if, just what if, what does the Bible say about this first off? Ephesians 6:12. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. So the way I'm interpreting this is that what if the people that hurt us, they were just being used? They were just being used by the devil, demons, some type of negative entity, just to deter us off of the path that God had for us. This is why God wants us to forgive people. Because if you somebody that's walking with God and you got the Holy Spirit in you, demons can't possess you. But if you somebody that doesn't have a relationship with God, right, you pretty much an empty vessel walking around that demons can infiltrate and have you doing negative things, have you thinking negatively about yourself, and you think those thoughts are yours just because your voice is behind it. But that's just not true. Once I gave my life to God, I don't have those negative thoughts no more. Now I'm able to, if I have negative spirits like the spirit of fear, that is a spirit. God didn't give us that spirit. So it's only one place that spirit could have came from, that spirit of anxiety, the depression, the self-doubt, the self-hate. If those spirits not coming for God, which the spirits that God gave us was spirit of peace, joy, and self-control. If you have any of those other previous spirits I just listed, they didn't come from God. They came from him. Lowercase h. They came from the devil or his workers. So this is where we all can meet in the middle. It don't matter if you got a heart of stone. It don't matter if you full with self-hatred like me. Not to the devil, because all that did was not have us on the narrow path to God. It had us on the broad road of destruction, bro. It don't matter which spectrum you fall on. You are on the broad road of destruction if you are full of self-hatred, full of that hurt, or you hurt so much that your heart became stone, bro. And the good news is the solution. Right here, bro. Right up there. All you gotta do is pray to him. And ask him to forgive you. Ask him to fix your broken heart. Ask him to take out your heart of stone, and he'll do it. It's really that simple. Put your faith in him. Put your faith in Jesus, and he'll fix you. It might take time, but he'll do it. He'll give you something. He'll show you that he got a plan for you. He'll show you that he can redeem you, whatever you done, bro. You're not too far off. You haven't committed so many sins that there ain't no way God gonna, no, you still alive because he wants you to repent to him. If he wanted to destroy you, he would let you die in your sin. And unfortunately, some people will, because they already decided that they don't need him or that they hate him because of the way their life went. I was blessed that even though I was hurt so much, that maybe my heart didn't turn stone, because I was so weak, so broken, that I had to turn to him. And I think that happens to a lot of us. We be so broken that we finally get it, and then, even then, he gonna pick up all of the mess we made and make a masterpiece out of it. Somehow, some way, I got faith God gonna do that for me. And if you feeling something today, turn to him, man. And this is not to bash people who heart turn to stone, because the world applauds that. The world, the music, is all going to make it seem like that's the right thing to do. But like I said, Satan got his hands on this world and the music. These people are paid to influence us to go to hell as they get rich. They don't care about us. That's their job, bro. That's their job, to influence us to hell, man. And it's our job to pull each other out of there. Enough is enough, man. I'm out.